Welcome back to the channel. This video I'm just showing you how to install a crash bar on a BMW R9T. More precise, this is a Wunderlich crash bar, and actually had a sticker on it's on the white side. Was a little sticker on here, but I removed it. Doesn't fit my color palette. These are the crash bars. Comes with this kit, assembly kit, the screws and some spacers, and an instruction. The instruction is actually fairly self-explanatory. I make this video in a sense for me. I don't want to necessarily keep the instruction around with all the torque specs, but those torque specs you will not find in the manual. So either you keep it and know where you put it, or just like me, you make a video, upload it, and whenever you have to look it up, you just find it again. Because there might be a time when you have to take it off again and then you don't remember the torque specs, you have nowhere to look it up. So I'll just make this video in a sense for me, but also for you if you're not familiar with it. I mean, not everybody is doing what I do. I understand that. If you just want to see it before you install it yourself to get a little bit more, confidence in it, that's for you. So let's just get right into it. This is what we're working with. This is the right side, the left side. Got one massive bolt, spacers, screws, and most importantly the instruction. I'm gonna show that so you can, I mean, if you order it, you have it anyway, but just for the sense of it, but just, for the fun of it, to be complete. We have 3 different screw sizes, a smaller M10, a M12, those are the ones for the low ones, and then you also have another M12, this Oshi here, that goes left to right, and you have this 38, 66, and 100 Newton meter. That is it. Of course, you use thread lock on the lower ones. The lower ones will be here and here, and this Oshi goes left to right and goes for there. You have to use the right spacers for it, but it tells you all of that. So with that, let's just get right to it. From what I've seen, the long one will go through here, and then here at the bottom you will go in here, I believe, and probably in here. As mentioned in previous videos, you can tell right away if a part on a BMW bike is aftermarket or OEM. Aftermarket is always Allen heads. Hard to see for the plastic. These are Allen heads. BMW uses Torx throughout. Oh, there we go. You can see better here. Easy way to tell aftermarket or OEM. Here you see the mirror is aftermarket. These are also aftermarket. You can see here the bolts. I use the original ones here, comes back off anyway. Also the RSD ones use Allen aftermarket. It's fairly easy. There's not a single Allen bolt on this bike from factory. So if you encounter one, you know exactly what's up. So I just built it out for myself and for you, because you have, not that many screws, but they're kind of all different. You have 2 of the smaller ones, the M10, that will be the front one. That goes into the 3 thread down here. Goes through here, also on the other side. And then you have the M12, you have a shorter one and the longer one. The shorter one goes on the right side, the longer one on the left side. Both for the rear one, replacing the T55 of the frame here. And then you have the spacers. The shorter one goes for the right side. With the M12, we have 3, of course the long one goes top, right to left. You have the washers under there. These are the 50mm distance. You have one on the top there, one on the other side. On the top, of course, then with the nut. The nut is a 19mm. And you have the third of the 50s down here with the longer M12. We'll replace this T55 here in the frame. And again, the shorter M10, or just the M10 with the spacer, goes into that 3 hole right there. Tools you need a Allen, you need an 8 and a 10, and you need a T55. You need a 19mm to hold the nut for this long bolt, and you need a 18 to opening up whichever it is in here. I think it's this one here. That's the 18 here and the T55 on the other side. And that is all. I'm just gonna start going through. It does make somewhat sense the way they say it, but also it doesn't. Because they want you to take it on first, but then they can't reach the other bolts. So basically they have to loosen it up first and then just take it on. I start by removing the bolts from the frame that I have to replace. The one up here, it's 18 hex here, T55 other side, and of course the T55 here, left and right. I decided to put a drag under the engine because it's all frame bolts. So you loosen the rear frame, the lower one, and the main frame, one of the top ones. Shouldn't go anywhere because there's another one, but still it might tilt. So I just put a drag underneath just in case, and to not have any load on there. So and now that it's all on, first finger tight and then you tighten it evenly. For torque specs, the one at the front, the M10 33 Newton meter, the M12 in the rear 66 Newton meter, and the M12 that goes across 100 Newton meter. And there you have it, it's on. It's really not automatic. Maybe a little bit finicky the first time. I had to re-tap the hole on the right side that was there because it's empty and it's just been weathering over time. So I had to just clear the threads. Also, that long bolt that goes across, you can only put it in from the right side because this thing is not symmetric. If you look a little bit on top here, you can see the left cylinder is more forward than the right one. So you can only get a screw in from one side, even though the old one was in from this side. Well, just one little unique quirk here, but doesn't stop anything really. They are not actually dead, you know. Of course you can see it, it's a little cage around it, but the color blends somewhat with the header and the rest of the bike. Of course it's not as pretty, but I put quite some money in this bike and I don't want to have it go down and then damage the valve cavity or the entire cylinder heads. So just a little bit, you know, hopefully never have to use it, but in case it is there. Also in case I want to put some lights on here, perfect spot here to put some auxiliary lights on there. It's actually straight here. Also on the other side, like a straight edge here, so we make sure it's parallel. I think that's a, you know, a useful piece of kit. Safety aspect, of course, and also auxiliary lights. If you have like a scrambler or something like this, Urban GS, then of course makes more sense for you. You just never know when someone doesn't see you and you have to swerve, or if there's some dirt or oil or whatnot on the street and you can't go anywhere and swoop, you go down. I hope that never happens, but it's not really always up to the rider. Oftentimes it's circumstances and environment that make you go down. So just be careful, and hopefully this will protect your bike and you hopefully never have to use it. Hope it was helpful, gave you the confidence or the torque specs. Maybe you lost your instruction or it didn't come with one. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.